9, 6. This one is going to be quite difficult for some of you, and you're going to need to put in that extra practice, okay? There's just nothing else I can say about it. Whoops, did not mean to do that. There we go. I have no idea what that was. Yay. Okay, gonna skip that. Okay, now looking at if C is positive, if the last term is positive. Okay, what you have to do with these is you um, can do one of two things. I'm going to show you both methods. This one is going to be factoring by grouping, and then I'll do the other one. Yeah, I don't know. All right, so 20x squared and 3. When I was in school, we would go, all right, 20 and 3. Well, I know 20 has 1 and 20, 2 and 10, and 4 and 5. And 3 only has 1 and 3. So now I need to multiply these together to see which ones would give me a sum of 17. 1 times 1 is 1, 20 times 3 is 20, or 60, so definitely not working. 20 times 1 is 20, 1 times 3 is 3, 23, still not working. What I'm doing is multiplying each by the number, so like 2 times 1, 10 times 3, 2 times 1 is 2, 10 times 3 is 30, 30 plus 2, 32. Nope. Now let's do 10 times 1 and 2 times 3. 10 times 1 is 10, 2 times 3 is 6, 16. Nope. 4 times 1 is 4, 5 times 3 is 15, 4 plus 15 is 19. Not working. 5 times 1 is 5, 4 times 3 is 12, 5 plus 12 is 17. There we go. So 5 goes with 1, and 4 goes with 3. Okay, now how this works is you're going to have 4x and you're going to have 5x. Now, 4 has to match up with 3, so that means the 3 has to go here, and 5 matches up with the 1, so that has to go there. And because everything is positive, both of these are positive. That's the way that I learned it, and many of my colleagues learned it, but I'm going to show you another way, okay? And you could multiply this together, use FOIL to check your answer, and you'd see that we do have the right one. Okay, the other method is known as the grouping method, and this is its own specific example, but I don't know why we wait. We'll show you both ways, and you can use whichever one you prefer. Okay, you multiply the first and last. Okay, so 20x squared times 3 is 60x squared. Now find factors of 60x squared that would give you 17x. Well, 12x and 5x. 12 plus 5 is 17. All right, so now what we do is we take these and we put them in for 17x. So we've got 20x squared, and instead of writing plus 17x, we're going to put 12x plus 5x. See, it's still 15 or 17x, it's just now written a little bit differently. And then we have plus 3. Now we are going to look for common terms. 20 and 12. Well, this is 4 times 5. This one is 4 times 3. So we can factor out a 4, and each of them have an x. This leaves us with 5x plus, the only thing we have left there is a 3. And over here, the only thing they have in common is 1. Now, the goal is to have these two that are in the grouping match, and they do, so I'm going to factor that out, 5x plus 3. And if I factored this out, I would be left with 4x plus 1. So we have 4x plus 1. And you'll notice these are the exact same, just the first term comes second in this one, and the second term comes first in. So it's the same thing, okay? All right, let's go ahead and take a look at example 2. Factor 3n squared minus 7n minus 6. All right, so using the old way, right, the guess and check method, we have 1 and 3, we have 2 and 3, and 1 and 6. Now this is negative, so that means we are going to be subtracting instead of adding, all right? So 1 times 2 is 2, 3 times 3 is 9, 9 minus 2 is 7. Okay, so 3 times 3, 1 times 2. But that's a negative 7, so that would have to be 3 times 3 is negative, and 1 times 2 would be positive. So this would be a negative 3, and this would be your positive 2. Just from reasoning, okay? So now we have 1 and 3, so that would be 1n or just n, 3n, right? And then we have 1 has to match up with 2, so that's going to be 2 over here. And 3 has to match up with 3, so that goes there. And again, that's going to be negative 3, and that one's going to be positive 2. If we multiply these two together, you would end up with negative 18n squared. Factors of negative 18, that would give you a negative 7. Let's see, 6 and 3 would not work. 9 and 2. Oh, there you go. It's the same thing that we had over there. So 9 and 2. Negative 9 and positive 2. So now we have 3n squared minus 9n plus 2n minus 6. Remember, this is just a fancier way of writing negative 7n. Looking at 3n squared and negative 9n, they both have a 3, and they both have an n. If I take a 3n out of 3n squared, we only have an n left. Negative 9n divided by 3n is going to give us negative 3. 2n and negative 6, we have a 2 in common, so we factor that out. 2n divided by 2 is n. Negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3. These match, which is what we want. And then we have 3n plus 2. And there you go. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and look at example 3. Whoops. No, it's okay. I want to go back. I'll show you that other one I just skipped over. I wait till the end on that one. All right. Now, unfortunately, they're not always nice and easy, and you can't just get to the point. You want to look at them and see if, when you look at the trinomial first, see if they have a like factor. 2's in common, 3's in common, 4's, 6's, whatever the case may be. And in this case, this is the same as 3 times 6, 3 times 11, and 3 times 10. So we're going to factor a 3 out. So we have 3 times 6x squared plus 11x minus 10. We're going to ignore the 3 for just a minute, okay? We're going to bring them back at the very end. We're going to have 3 times something, right? Okay, so 6x squared is either going to be 1 and 6 or 2 and 3. 10 would be 1 and 10 or 2 and 5. 1 times 1 is 1. 6 times 10 is 60. That's not working. 1 times 10 is 10. 6 times 1 is 6. And that would be 10 minus 6 because of that. So that would be 4, so that doesn't work. 1 times 2 is 2. 6 times 5 is 30. That's not working. 6 times 2 is 12. 1 times 5, so 12 minus 5 would be 7. So 1 and 6 are not part of the deal. 2 times 1 is 2. 3 times 10, 30. That's not working. 3 times 1, 2 times 10 is 20. 20 minus 3, 17, so that one doesn't work. 2 times 2 is 4. 5 times 3 is 15. There you go. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 5 is 15. Now that middle term is positive, so that means this one has to be positive and this one would have to be negative. So more specifically, that would be a positive 5 and that would be a negative 2. All right, so down here we have 2 and 3, so that would be 2x and 3x. And over here we would have, the 2 matches with negative 2, so it has to be back here. That's the only way. We have to have those two together. And then 5 times 3, that would have to be right there. And this is your final answer. Okay, now I want to show you another way. And I'm going to go ahead and scroll down at the bottom of this one and snag one of the quick checks. Okay, there's one other way that I haven't shown you. So we have the guess and check method of yesteryear. We have the grouping method, and now I'm going to show you the square method, okay, or the 2 by 2. I'm going to take A, and what you do is you draw a 4 square. Your first term always goes here. Your last term always goes here. That's a non-negotiable. You can't change that. So 5d squared goes here. Negative 3 goes down here. Now you multiply these two together. So negative 15d squared. And you find factors of negative 15 that would give you negative 14. Well, that's easy. Negative 15d and positive 1d, right? Negative 15 plus 1 is negative 14. Now, you put these in the two remaining boxes. It doesn't matter the order. I'm going to put negative 15d here just because, and I'm going to put 1d down here just because. It could be the other way. It doesn't matter. Now what we need to do is find the greatest common factor of these two terms, 5d squared and negative 15d. Well, that would be 5d. 1d and 3. Well, the only thing a 1 and a 3 have in common is a 1. Okay, so now we found it across. Now we need to go down. 5d squared and 1d. Well, that's just a d. Negative 15d and negative 3. Well, they're both negative, so I know I have a negative. 3 is a factor of 15, so negative 3. So my answer is 5d plus 1 times d minus 3. Now there is one exception. And that is when you have ax squared minus bx plus c. Because when you do it, you're going to have, this will be positive, this one would be negative, this one would be negative, and this one would be positive. So when you factor them out, there are no like signs, so you can't factor out a negative. But you know that since this is the same and this is negative, the middle's negative, they both have to be negative. So you have to know that going into it, and if you know that, then you can still use this. You just have to remember to write whatever your answer is, this minus this minus that. Okay, so that's the one time it doesn't work perfectly. All right, guys, that's it for 9-6. As I say, that's it. But definitely practice this one.